sure, I'm currently using a new program, so we first gotta figure out how this all is working. I added this beautiful, how's it called, view counter, and I also added some chat on the screen, so people who are watching the video can see the latest chats. And I'm still not sure if this is currently working. Am I live? It's not working at all. What the fuck? There's something going wrong. Wow. Is it now working? No. Did it finally start? Wow, this is like the worst live stream start ever. We started another live stream. Hey, there's a lot going wrong right now. Sweet. Oh man. First gotta figure out how to do this properly. I currently have 2 live streams. Interesting. Okay. And I have no idea why. The reason is that I'm using Streamlabs OBS for the first time, and I have no idea how to use it properly. So I guess I gotta figure that out first. Before we can start. This is like the most sad live stream ever. Okay, I think I gonna do it differently. Okay. How am I going to do this right? So now the people are starting to find this stream. There's something that went definitely horribly wrong, and I don't exactly know what the problem was. So it's the first time I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and I messed up the settings. And yeah, I think I will just currently leave it like this now. So, I mean, you kind of found this live stream, so I guess that's fine. Wow, as I mentioned, the worst live stream start ever. Okay, first question. What I edit now is now in the bottom left corner. We can have our view count, and you can see the comments. I don't know if this is interesting, but I think that maybe helps. All right. I guess since everything is working now after 4 minutes, we will just gonna start. For everyone who doesn't know what this stream is going to be about. It's about reviewing your stuff. So I posted a community post a while ago where you were able to send me the links to your channels and your videos and your games, and now I'm going to review that. I hope the sound is fine, and then we can start with our first video. Let me just open it. Okay, so our first video is going to be this little one. It's by Scooch. Let's first have a look at Scooch channel, and let's also subscribe to him, because why not? So Scooch is a dragon, I guess. And he has almost 400 subs, so he's doing pretty good. I already have watched some of his videos. I can't remember that, but it's 10 months ago, so let's see how he's doing now. Noel Jessics asked me, what's about your legendary game? Yeah, we finished it. I will make a video. It will be uploaded probably on Friday, so you will have to wait some time until you can see it, but then you can go. Let's first start with this Gooch video. It's only 5 minutes, so I think that's fine. And first of all, let's take a look at the thumbnail. Yeah, it's really similar to the thumbnails he made for this game before, so I think that's nice because it's more recognizable. And yeah, I like the thumbnail. You see this little dragon, you kind of have the feeling to know what this game is about, so yeah, why not? It's definitely completely different than his older thumbnails if we look back, but hey, let's go. You gotta tell me if the sound is good. So tell me if something is too loud or not loud enough. I can't hear it, so you gotta tell me. Okay, let's just start this video.
What is up, my fellow dragons? Scooch here, and welcome back to my indie game devlog series. I didn't get as much done on my game since last devlog than I probably would have liked, but progress is progress, and although it was slow, I've definitely gotten a better understanding of how Godot works now. Before I get into it though, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's supported me lately. We're almost at 400 subscribers and we're growing.
Okay, first of all, what I already mentioned in the last video, the start of your video is the most important part. The mic muted? What? Okay. My sound is good, is it? I think you should hear me. Yeah, sounded good. Okay. I hope Billy Man is telling me the correct thing. Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned, the first 20 seconds of a video is the most important part of your video, and I gotta tell you, if I would be just casually watching these first 20 seconds would probably have scared me off.
What is up, my fellow dragons? Scooch here, and welcome back to my indie game devlog series.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, okay, he's doing his intro and then he keeps talking about...
I didn't get as much done on my game since last devlog than I probably would have liked, but progress is progress, and although it was slow, I've definitely gotten a better understanding of how Godot works now.
Okay, so he's starting his video by saying, I didn't get that much done, but I got some knowledge. And Scooch, the one thing I can tell you about this start, make it more interesting. So like, show some footage of your game. If you want to tell it, at least show something else than this background, because we already saw this image in the thumbnail, so we know it, and it's a little bit boring to keep on watching it. So let's continue his video and let's see where the action is starting. The people are trolling me in this chat. That's not nice of you.
Lately, we're almost at 400 subscribers and we're growing a lot. So let's push and get to 400. Also, a lot of people have been joining my Discord server, even without me mentioning it in my latest videos, so I just want to say if you guys want to join, the link is in the description. You can post your game-related stuff and just come chat. Everyone's really nice and welcoming, so you should come say hello. The first thing I did in my game...
Okay, we are now 45 seconds in, and he also didn't start yet. He made some advertisement for his Discord, which is also totally fine, but I would put this always to the end, because people you want to have in your Discords are like the people that like to watch your videos. So these are people who are watching your videos from the start to the end. So it won't harm you to make some advertisement and to say thank you in the end, because the people you want to thank to, they will most probably watch your video to the end, and the people who won't watch your video to the end, they don't care about your Discord that much. So put this stuff in the end and put more interesting stuff more in the beginning. What I just read is the comment of Seed Killer, who said it would be good to have some background footage of a game development or like God of Wales. And yeah, that comment is totally correct. Just like start with the most awesome footage you have, because that's the way to go on YouTube.
I implemented more sound effects. This sounds like an easy thing to do, right? Well, it actually took a lot more thought and work into how I wanted to tackle it than I originally thought. To play sound effects, you use an object node called a audio stream 2D, and you need a new stream for every sound effect for an object if you want them to play independently of other sounds in that object.
Okay, this is some good stuff. Just wanted to mention it. When he's talking about stuff, he's adding the sprites so the viewer can visually see the node to the audio stream player 2D. That's good. That's what I like to see. That makes
you need a new stream for every sound effect for an object if you want them to play independently of other sounds in that object. If you try to just change the sound effect of one audio stream, if another is playing at the same time on the same stream, it will stop whatever audio was there before and start the new sound effect. And that can get messy really quickly. For example, when you shoot a fireball, even if it hits the wall, I don't want the fire sound effect.
You see, finally 1 minute 30 into the video, and it's the first time we've seen some actual in-game footage. That's way too late.
And it just sounds weird for it to get completely cut off when it hits an object. To fix this problem, I created an audio stream 2D scene that gets instantiated when you shoot a fireball. What it does is it creates the stream and the sound effect in the root node of the actual world, and not in the fireball scene. It plays the sound the full way through, and once it is finished, it deletes that instance of the audio stream. The cool thing about this is that I can use this scene and its script for any sounds I'd like to play independently in the future. Hopefully that's a good way of doing it and will make things easier for me.
Okay, and one more thing I would like to mention is I really like the usage of your dragon. Like, for example, he's blinking. At the one time he was smiling, and yeah, that's really unique. I haven't seen anything like this. And also that your text fits perfectly to the pixel art style of your game and of this background. That's also a really nice touch. I like that.
So after figuring that out and a couple other problems, I finally got some sound effects working for my character. They're all placeholder sounds for now, as some of them don't really sound good, but I'll change them soon. The second major thing I implemented into my game is getting fireballs to damage and destroy objects. This took way too long to do. I'm not sure why I found this so troublesome, but it took me too long to find a method that worked. But it really wasn't that difficult once I figured it out. There's a surprising lack of resources online on how to do this with the kind of method I wanted, so I might create a quick Godot tutorial on the way I used, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. And let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. Next, I want to create an enemy with a super simple AI that you can give fire damage and that can damage the player. So let's hope that doesn't take me forever. On an unrelated game development note, I did my first...
Okay, Joachim, I just assume that your name is German. Maybe it's not, and it's not called Joachim. Just commented if I was the person who made this video, I should speak with more emotion. And yeah, that's always true. That's like one of the most common mistakes that YouTubers make in the beginning. That's one of the mistakes that I currently still make a lot, that when you're speaking, you gotta have a variety on your emotions and talk with more enthusiasm, or just like from time to time change your speaking pace, change the volume of what you're talking, pronounce important words. Like if you're doing a talk and really want to empathize on the important stuff, that's always important. And especially in scenes like this, the most important thing is what you're saying, because visually there isn't that much. So the people will listen a lot to you, and if you are too boring, then no one wants to listen. I think it's fine, and I like the quality of your audio, but yeah, as Joachim said, maybe some more emotion would be nice, but I know that's really difficult.
Ever pixel art commission for a friend of mine. I insisted that I wasn't good enough at pixel art to be commissioned, but she didn't listen and did it anyway. Anyway, this is how it turned out. I think it's pretty good. I'm proud of myself for having a nice creepy looking atmosphere, and I think I did pretty well on the lighting and gradient shadows. Plus she was happy with it, so that's what really matters. I'm definitely improving my pixel art skills though. The game jam Ludum Dare is this weekend. I'm excited about it and I want to make a video going through my weekend.
Okay, one little touch that's really nice, just wanna show again, is right at the moment where he says excited, his little dragon got the happy, excited look. That's really awesome. That I know that takes time to do this and implement this, and it's a really nice touch. I like that.
Ludum Dare is this weekend. I'm excited about it and I want to make a video
Perfect.
going through my weekend developing it. However, that means I probably won't work on my game as much this week and won't have a devlog out next week. I want to do a couple things to prepare for Ludum Dare, like learning how to make a menu screen. I don't know how to do that in Godot, and it's pretty important for a game to have. Obviously, I don't want to have to learn that during the game jam, because that will waste a lot of time. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's been a while since I've done a jam, and I always learn a lot and have a ton of fun when participating. So yeah, this wasn't a very big video, but hey, I got something out, and I'm proud of myself for this week. So I hope you all had a great Easter and are having a good time.
Okay, and just one last thing that you can improve if you really want to improve the quality is, like at this part, you made a mistake on the audio and you just left it in. Like I don't know what exactly this mistake was, but if you want to have a perfect video, you gotta cut all the mistakes out. That's taking more time than just doing one record and publish it, but hey, that's a thing people gotta do if they want to get really good videos.
I'm proud of myself for this week. So I hope you all had a great Easter and are having a good time with your families. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for game development and awesome gaming content, and I will see you all later.
Yeah, this was our first video. I liked it, so I'm gonna leave a like. And yeah, the one thing I really gotta mention is the beginning of the video. It took 1 minute and 30 seconds until we first saw your game, and that's way too long. And if you want to reach new people, then this will scare them off. You shouldn't do this. Put stuff like promotion and saying thank you and stuff like that. Put it in the end so new people will start with the devlog part, and if they like it, then they are maybe interested in your Discord and stuff. But if you start with your Discord, then they maybe will never know if they even would like your content or not. So this was this video. Cringe Master 64 asked me how I picked the channels. Yeah, I did a post where people could post their channels to me, and I'm now just going down the list in the order they posted it to me. So the first ones get now reviewed, and the people who just posted lately will sadly have to wait a little bit until I get to their videos. All right, let's go to the next one. Let me just find what we have. Oh, the next one is J-Code. J-Code, are you still in the chat? I hope you are, because we are now reviewing your video. If you are still in the chat, please leave a comment so I know, and then we can watch your video together. So this is J-Code's channel. As he says, it's about tutorials, game vlogs, and he's a J-Code. He made a few videos, has already 130 subscribers after 2 months. That's really nice. That's impressive. I didn't have that much after this time, and definitely not after these videos. And hey, J-Code is there. Nice. So we can watch your video together. That's sweet. Okay, so the video you promoted was this one, multiplayer and guns, Unity Devlog 4, I guess. Yeah. So let's take a look. Also 42 likes, no dislikes, 660 views. So it was really successful, I guess. Let's first start with the thumbnail. I think this looks nice. I like it. Can see some nice graphics. The gameplay looks already interesting and promising. So yeah, I can understand why so many people clicked on this. Let's see what we got.
Hi, welcome back to my devlog.
Just a short note, this is like the Thin Matrix devlog style start. I really like that. This is like the Danny in the beginning also started his videos like this, and he has some nature shot and the number of the devlog written there. I like it. So let's see.
Series. In the last devlog, we finished it with the AI system and the custom map. For people who are not sub to this channel, I'm currently making a sandbox game like Gary's mod, but with better graphics and easier for the creator of math and maps.
Okay, so you see, this is already a much better start to the video, because he's directly addressing the people who aren't subscribed to his channel, telling them this is what I'm currently working on. He shows how to, he shows some gameplay footage, and that's how you gotta do it.
This devlog, I'm gonna try to finish the version 0.0.6. So there's the plan for the version. First, thanks to all feedback in the last video, let's check them. Hey, me of the future, can you pick one good comment? Another comment?
I like this. I like this comment you picked there. Some little self-irony that's always nice, and adding all these comments. I kind of want to read them. That's why I paused. So bullet a badge, change them like Danny. Yeah, also nice you added these sound effects when you pop in the comments. That's always a nice touch and makes it more interesting.
Oh, yes. So Jen said to me to tell more about my days like a real devlog. So I'm gonna try to do this for the next devlog. Frizzy Soda said to me to add a knife. So I've made a bad model of knife and a bad animation. I imported CSGO sound. And yay, we have a working knife. Mark Jens also said to me to change the bullet to make...
Okay, one thing Casper Caper just commented, I want to read this out loud. Emotion is probably the hardest for non-native speakers, and yeah, I can totally apply to this. It's really hard. That's a big struggle for me. That's also a big struggle for me in these live streams, because sometimes, well, I'm not an English native, so sometimes I want to say something and I'm missing the correct words, so it's really difficult. And then you have to think, what do I want to say? How can I pronounce it correct? And then not only this, but you also want to try to get the emotion down. That's really difficult. And I guess what you gotta have to try to do, J-Code, is to be very confident while speaking. Just pretend to be correct, you know? A really nice example for this is Jonas Tyroler. He's a German like me, so Lechtavier asked what my first language is. It's German, and Jonas Tyroler is also German, and he has the same struggle like me when talking in English, but he totally compensates this by speaking so confidently and doing his mistakes super confidently. Like he has a very strange pronunciation of the TH. When he says something, it's more like something. It's more like this. That's a typical German thing, and he already made fun of it, like putting a lot of Z's in the background when he says something like this. So he makes even fun of it. Just try to be as confident as possible, even if you're not that good at the language you're speaking. I mean, at least that's what I also currently are trying to do.
Them similar to Carson. So I've made a bullet model and replaced the old one by the new one. The Dreadful Fleet said to me to get a pop filter. So guess what? I got a pop filter. Tranky Plunks made a...
Okay, I like the start of your video. So you're referencing to all the comments you got, and you show that you care for the people who watch your videos. You show that you acknowledge what they say, and you already implemented the stuff they are asking you to do. That's nice.
Big comment. Make your voice louder than the music. Check. Speak less monotone. Check. Develop a map a bit more. Check. He also said to me to add more weapons, so I modeled a C4. I know, it sucks. I made a beep sound in SFXR and I made it go boom.
Just to talk a little bit about the game, the sound of the jumping is kind of strange. I would change that. I don't know if you already changed it or not. I mean, this video is a little bit older, but it's a little bit strange.
Because I like when it go boom, I made a rocket launcher and rocket model, and now it's also going boom! Do you know the Half-Life series? In Half-Life 2, we have a gun which one-shot enemies. So I made so I don't know what is this, but let's make it work and check what is going to happen. Okay, that's kind of bad. I really need some idea of what the weapon should look like. If you have idea, write them in the comment section.
This part was a little bit difficult, I would say. I guess it's going to be like this Danny style humor where you say, what is this going to be? I don't know, but it kind of was like you really didn't know what you were doing. It's hard to describe what I currently try to say. Difficult. Let's rewatch it and I try to tell you. So you start at this and
I don't know what is this, but let's make it work. And
I need to go back even further.
we have a gun which one-shot enemies. So I made so I don't know what.
Okay, so for me, when I watched this, it really sounded like you really didn't know what you wanted to say. So humor is very difficult, and humor is even more difficult when you try to do it not in your native language. And I know this. I try to do humor and I fail really hard at this. I have like really nice German jokes and I can't bring them to English. So yeah, it's difficult. I totally understand this.
Idea, write them in the comment section.
So this part was maybe a little bit too long. You know, like a lot of gameplay footage that isn't that interesting because we have seen it before, and without you speaking, that's maybe a little bit too long. You could cut off a little bit of this, of parts like this, in generally speaking. But so far, it's a really nice video. I like it. Let's go to day 2, and that's all implemented in one day. That's quite impressive. We've done a lot in just one day. Sweet.
So for this day,
okay, another thing, I like the transitions. That's the Thin Matrix style. I really enjoyed it because it's also one of the first devlogs I have ever seen. It's really nice. I love stuff like this. But one thing you gotta do is you gotta turn up the music while you have this day 2 screen and the nature footage. You use the music in the same volume as in the rest of the game, like it's background music. But at this part where you're not speaking but showing this nature, just ramp up the music, make it loud so the people can enjoy it more. When the music is so quietly like this, and then it's a little bit boring. But if you turn up the music, then it's way better. And then as soon as you go back to the part where you're speaking, then you have to ramp down the music, of course, and because then it becomes background music again. But in this short part, you gotta increase the music volume.
This day, let's continue with something really fun that every game developer like. Fixing piles of bugs. So first, let's set back the ragdoll position when the player is down. Next.
This is some nice editing. Good job.
Now I want to make the explosion more realist. So I've made the AI taking damage by the explosion, and I added the ability to change the size of the explosion. To add some effect, I added some slow motion when the explosion make damage. With all that out of the way, I coded a few lines of code and we have now, and the AI drop the gun when he dies. Because now we have so
Also, this part, once again, maybe a little bit too long. And if you're only showing footage without speaking, once again, turn up the volume and like, okay, one more thing. It's really nitpicking, and I mean the video is nice, and I'm really on a very detailed level of feedback. So just to get it even a tiny bit more better. And one thing is that you could have the game in like full screen, because right now we're seeing some Unity stuff on the right, at the bottom, at the top, on the left. And it would be better if you have just the gameplay footage. So maximize the game while recording. You still will have some borders, and these needs to be cut out by zooming in, and then you have some nice footage without these Unity borders. And once again, ramp up the music. And like cut before the menu comes, because that's just a few seconds no one needs. You can just cut a little bit earlier. I think that would be totally fine and better.
Because now we have slow-mo, I modified the pitch of the audio referred to this timescale. Now it looks, or it sounds, much better.
Okay, and Amatsugu had a nice comment. He said that he thinks the transition took too long, and yeah, that's also true. These are the two issues with your transitions. I mean, the idea is nice, I like this, but just make it a little bit shorter and ramp up the music, and then it's perfect.
For this day,
I also like that you include this real-life footage of your desk. That's a nice touch. I like that.
I'm gonna work more on the player movement. To get it more possibility of maps, I added the possibility of them to the map creator to enable wall running. Like some people know, I like surfing. Not that surf. That surf. So I added the surfing like in CSGO or any source game. Okay, now
Okay, another very subtle thing is you already, when you were talking, really pronounced that surf. If you do stuff like this, make a cut. So, like, you're talking about surfing, you could add some free footage of some surfing videos, and then when you say, no, that surf, then you would cut to your gameplay. I think then it would be better. But once again, this is just a really tiny touch, and you're doing really good in this video. Must admit, for having not that many subscribers, and I mean, let's shortly take a look at your channel. I want to know the number of this video. Where are we? I mean, it's like your 5th video. I can tell you this is way better than my 5th video. So this is
Let
really a good
people
job.
know I like surfing. Not that surf. That surf. So I added the surfing like in CSGO on any source game. Okay, now we have much more feature. Like every game dev do when they don't have a new idea, I added the gate mechanic like in Carson. The only difference is to open the gate with a pressure pad, you need to have the master key to open the gate. Now the mod support. We currently have only one type of mod support, is the map support. But what is the point of a custom map if we don't?
Okay, and one more thing. Like here we have a white screen for a few seconds. That's also something you maybe want to avoid.
Have only one type of mod support, is the map support. But what is the point of a custom map if we don't have props to play around? So I added the possibility to make props like with the map, and boom, we have props. Hell yeah. But what is the
Okay, one last thing, and I think then we are ready with your video. Not ready, finished. It's a thing I already mentioned. Like here, you added this still part where you said, and boom! You know, you have really this spike, this boom, and it really makes it way better when you add a cut to this. So every time you're talking and have a talking spike, this boom, make a cut. And this is a really easy thing. Oh, wow. A really easy thing to do and makes it totally better. So do that.
map? And boom.
Boom. Zack. Now you could have transitioned to the part you're talking about, and that would have been a very nice cut. I don't know if you watched my last video where I reviewed the video of Doorbell Prod. He did a really nice job of it. He added these cuts and stuff like this all the time, and this was really awesome. Yeah, I learned a lot from him. So, but your video was really nice. And as I mentioned, it was your 5th video. And for your 5th video, it's very awesome. There's no surprise you got that many views, you got a lot of likes, and you totally deserve this. So the only things to make it more interesting is like try to keep it a little bit shorter. Make the transitions a little bit shorter, and when you're not speaking, ramp up the music so it's more interesting in those parts. But besides this, good job, nice video, and thank you for applying. Okay, next. What I gotta do, I don't know if I spelled it correct. So in my last video I reviewed this video and totally failed because I didn't record my voice, and that was really sad. So I said I will do this again in the next live stream. So now it's time to go back to Amatsugu. I won't go to this video again. He just asked. Wow, he's also in the comments. That's nice. Yeah, Amatsugu, I now gonna redo your stuff. So I won't do this video because I watched it and it's a little bit too long now. So I go to watch this video because I haven't watched this. Let's see what you got. Foss.
Hello, welcome back everyone. This is an extra devlog episode that will give a deep dive into the terrain generation of Foss. This video will be divided into 2 parts. First will be focused on the game assets that control and configure the generation.
Short pause. Tudvari asked what's the procedure to request for a review. I have an extra channel on my Discord to be able where you can post your video you would like to get reviewed. I would have had it in the description of this video, but I totally failed the live stream, so I destroyed my description and I destroyed the thumbnail of this live stream. I destroyed a lot of stuff. But I guess I will. That's the thing I maybe should add now. I can fix at least the description, I guess. Wait a second. Okay, now I should have the correct description of this video. Where are we? So, this video, let's go.
Generators. In the second part, I will explain some of the code and the internals of the generator. The map generator is configured by one main asset. This asset contains...
Okay, one thing I already said in my last video, and it's the same with this video. The difference of the background music and your the volume of your talking is too low. I mean, the background is too quietly, or your sound is not loud enough. But change this just a little bit so people can hear you better. I have the feeling that the background music is a little bit too loud, even though it's once again really nice background music. Your video style is like this chill, and I love it. And I love your music choice. So perfect.
Several properties that determine how the final generated maps will look. The first property controls the size of the map. This is defined in number of chunks. Chunks are 16 by 16 tiles. For this video, I'm demonstrating with a small 4x4 map in order to speed up the generation. The second property is a tile mapper. This determines which tile is generated based on the altitude. However, it is not used for this generator. A biome painter is used instead. The next property controls the sea level of the generated map. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Also, another thing I gotta say, the video style fits just perfectly to the game, because this game looks so calm and relaxing with this beautiful ambient, I guess that's how it's called. And so the game even fits perfectly to the video style. That's also a really nice thing about this.
The generator asset allows me to adjust the size of each tile. While this is something that's technically supported for maps, there are some quirks with changing it. But until I decide to use larger tiles, I'll probably won't work out the kinks. The map generator supports sub-generators.
Okay, one thing is I'm not quite sure if I'm seeing what you're doing. So right now you're explaining all the different stuff for the map generation, and I think we have like this tiny little preview down here where we can see how the changes are affecting the map, but on the big background I didn't see too many changes. Maybe they are too subtle so you can't see them, or I just missed them, but maybe you can do this a little bit more obvious, that when you say, okay, this is the sea level, make the sea level in the background rising really high, so people like me who aren't paying enough attention can actually see this, I guess.
Which I call feature generators. I use these to generate specific features onto the map, such as resources and structures. The maps used for FOSS are not infinite and are islands or groups of islands. This is achieved by masking the edges of the map down to 0. This is controlled by the border size and border curve properties. The size determines the distance from the edges and tiles that the border curve is applied. The border curve allows me to customize the shape of the land that gets modified by the border. The border does not simply cap the tile height to a specific value, rather it is a multiplier that forces the tiles downwards, allowing the details to be preserved. Next up is the configuration for the parameters of the simplex noise that is used for generating the height map. I can change the scale of the noise that is sampled to create different.
Okay, yeah, but I guess I was correct. So you're changing the parameters, and as soon as you hit regenerate, then the background is changing. So then the scene is changing, and in the preview you can see already what's happening. So as Casper Caper says, this is really impressive stuff, and I totally gotta agree with this. This is really awesome. Also that you have this preview, that's, I mean, wow. Nice. I don't know how to do this. I guess this will take me months to create awesome stuff like this. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, what I mentioned to make this is the video more interesting and to really show the awesomeness of your game, show your changes larger. So people now have to focus on this little part of the screen. This is everything that changes, while the large background is filled with the old map. So I guess there are different ways to do this, to show this, but try to find a way to make the interesting part that people want to see like bigger, and then the video already gets way more interesting, I guess.
Types of terrain features.
You see now, after you hit regenerate, we can see it. So maybe you can, if you have the footage, maybe combine it that people can see it earlier as soon as you make the changes. Another short comment. Wow, this looks awesome. Great.
You can also change the scale on a per noise layer basis or as a whole. Each noise layer builds upon the previous layer in order to add more details and refine the shape of the terrain. I use 4 layers. The first is responsible for generating the general shape of the landmass. This is followed by a roughness layer. This helps increase the complexity of the initial shape. The next layer makes the most noticeable change to the terrain, the mountain layer. As the name.
Okay, I just had one idea that could be really nice. Maybe you want to think about it. So, I mean, your game is really awesome. That deserves like a lot of views. I mean, that's really impressive stuff. It looks awesome. The only thing that's missing is that the awesomeness is shown even better. So what you could do, after you made some changes, then add some footage where you're flying at the new generated landscape. Some really nice landscape footage. So while you're talking and talk about this change, then you can play the footage of the camera flying over this newly generated landscape, because the landscape now looks like this, and this is also awesome, and people can really enjoy all the variety of stuff you can do with your map generator. I think this way would sell it the most, I guess. That would be really awesome.
Implies it generates mountainous structures on the terrain. As it is, it looks pretty good, but I wanted to add more details, so I added another layer that carves slight valleys and grooves into the terrain. These layers combine very nicely to create the terrain and fonts. I may make further improvements to the generator in the future to give more unique terrain across different biomes.
Also, some really nice camera flying footage would fit so perfectly to the music no, I think this would be like the top thing you could do, I guess.
Each biome is defined by a specific temperature and moisture combination. The maps and FOSS are seeded. The seed is determined by the generator. I have the option to force a specific seed or only force it in the editor. A standalone version uses a random seed. Finally, I have a value that sets the limit on the ratio of tiles that are underwater and above water. If a generated map does not meet this requirement, then a new seed is picked and the map is regenerated. This ensures that a map does not contain mostly water. Now we'll take a look at the code responsible for generating the map. First, we'll walk through the generator code. The generation happens in 4 phases, as hinted before. The first phase is the generation of the height map. The height map is generated by blending all the noise layers. The map border is also applied in this phase.
Okay, and that's a thing I don't know if I said it in the video, but that's what I said a lot in the last time where I watched your last video, where you showed a lot of source code. And for my opinion, this is a little bit difficult for devlogs, because who would read this? And who would understand this? I mean, you did a lot of great, crazy stuff no one can replicate so easily. So if they just have a short look at your code, probably at most 1% of the viewers would understand it, and this 1% probably won't stop to really look at it. So I'm not sure about showing code. So what you did in the last time was you had a time lapse of you coding while explaining what you did. I think this was nice, but try to not show code too much. The interesting stuff is your map generation and your generated maps and the awesome visuals of your game. Code is always a little bit boring, I guess. At least in my opinion. Maybe some people like that, but for me, I kind of like to skip over those parts if there is a devlog that contains too much code. Especially now where you have those parts where you are not even talking and only showing the code while music is played. I think these are parts that could be easily cut out of the video.
After the height map is generated, the land and sea ratio is checked. If it passes, which happens most of the time, we move on to the next phase. The temperature map is generated by determining an equator point, which will be the warmest point on the map, and then the temperature is lowered as the distance increases from that point. The temperature value is also blended with the height map, allowing the terrain to influence the temperature. In phase 3, the moisture.
Okay, Metabulous added just an interesting comment. He says, if you explain the code, I like it, because I'm often interested in that. And yeah, that's true. That's something you can definitely do in devlogs, but then you need a very specific part, and then you really gotta explain why this is the code and what the code really does. What you're doing is like, okay, so this is the code for the map generation here. Look at it. Bam, in your face. And as I mentioned, no one will understand it. So if you like to show code, then you kind of gotta explain it. Then you gotta say, okay, so the sample variable has the filter, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what your code is doing now, but then you have to explain what these different variables are doing and why you implemented it this way. Then it makes sense to show code. But if you're just showing code to say, okay, so look at my beautiful code for the map generation, then I think it's boring. But yeah, showing code definitely is reasonable if you explain your code.
Map.
Also, Metabulous, which idea of mine did you steal? I don't like that. It's okay, but I would like to know which idea you're stealing. Damn.
Is generated. This is done by sampling the noise filters again at a different scale. The sampled noise is then remapped, and that's the final moisture map. Finally, all the values generated by the previous 3 phases are used to assign the tiles to the map. The biome painter uses the moisture and temperature to determine a biome. Then the altitude is used to determine a tile within that biome. At this point, the map generation is technically complete. Feature generators can now be applied to the map. I will only go into one of the feature generators because the rest of them are pretty simple. The resource generator uses a cellular automata to distribute resources onto the map. I found that this gives a lot more control than using noise. I'm using a generator that was designed to generate caves, but I made some adjustments to make it work for resource generation. It creates nice clumps of resources that are distributed across the map. That concludes my deep dive into Foss's terrain generation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments or in the Discord server. Leave a like to show your support and subscribe for new videos. And don't forget the wishlist on Steam.
Yeah, nice. This was the second video of you I actually reviewed. And once again, really nice. Got 178 views. That's more than you have subscribers. This is always a nice thing. As Jonas mentioned, what you try to achieve is to get more views than you have subscribers, and then you're successful. So definitely a successful video. And yeah, once again, I liked it. I guess I have told enough to your videos, and I think you now have a lot of new ideas on how to make your videos even better. I think Metabulous, I stole the reviewing developers idea. Damn you! No, I think that's totally fine. If you like to give me credit, that's awesome. But I guess you don't have to do this, because I mean, it's always nice helping other people, and so this is no problem. Do it. So let's go to our last video of the day. We have the programming juvenile. Interestingly enough, my first devlog was the most successful with more than 1K views. And that's sometimes it's really interesting. The YouTube algorithm is very strange sometimes, but I guess what we all gotta do is try to keep improving the content, and then we will get better numbers eventually. So first, let's have a look. Oh, I opened it in the wrong browser. Let's do it again. Oh, no, I don't know if I like it. I wanted to subscribe, but I'm already subscribed. So okay, the programming juvenile has 200 subs and not that many videos. I kind of like the old style of your thumbnails more than the new one, but I think that's at least it's an interesting thumbnail. Let's make me looking like, what is this game about? Something World War II. It's made with Unity. It's the first devlog. So let's see. So let me first read some comments. And that's okay. What Amatsuko just said. It's a really sad thing. So a video that isn't as good as other videos is viewed way more often, and if you would have so many views on one of your better videos, the people more likely would have subscribed to you That's always feeling bad. I can feel you. Okay, let's go to the video now. The first thing, it was a little bit laggy. So the gameplay footage was lagging, I think. Yeah. And it still is. So this gives me already the question, is the game always lagging? Or aren't you able to record it without lags? Because it would probably way better if it would be lagging that much. Yeah, just for the intro. But besides this, the gameplay footage itself looks really nice. So I like the intro. But the frame rate sucks. So try to fix that. The intro would be already better.
It's finally here, the secret project that I hinted at in my channel update video a couple of weeks ago. So what is this project all about? When will this project be released to the world? All of these questions will be answered in today's video. Hey everyone, my name's Alex from the Programming Juvenile.
Okay, before we keep watching, this is awesome. Like having this avatar in pixel art, animated, doing the talking and even some waving, that's always awesome.
And welcome back to another video. I should probably check this is working out. About halfway through January 2020, I started working on a new secret project. Not enough progress was being made with my previous game because most of the Project Paradox team were away on holiday break. So I needed something to keep myself busy. And now, a little under a month later, here we are. Welcome to Lone Wolf Dub 2.
Okay, yeah, what Metabulous also said is true. The intro was a little bit too long, but I still think it was okay with the text. It was still catchy. I mean, it would probably be nicer that instead of having the text that you would read it out loud. That is always nicer than just having text. But I think it was okay because the music and the footage was really nice. Keeping it shorter is always nice. Like the rule of thumb is keep your intro at about 20 seconds max, and then you're always good to go. If it's a little bit longer, that's fine. This time it was like 40 seconds, I guess. But I liked it so much that it didn't bother me too much. And Apex asked me, when will you review more videos? I will do this in exactly 1 week. I plan to do this weekly, so every week I will from now on do this live stream. So yeah, in 1 week. I don't know if I will change the time schedule, but we will see. Once again, the footage has a way too low frame rate. I don't know how you are recording your stuff, but there's something you gotta change, I guess.
This game will give you the experience that thousands went through all those years ago during World War II. This game is set during one of the most tragic time periods in human history. During this tragic time, an estimate of 75 million people died. Hundreds of thousands of these were pilots, and I feel their story is not told nearly often as it should. So in this game you'll experience how intense and scary it was to be flying above in those dark times, giving the millions of soldiers down there the air support they need while still majorly risking your own life. So in this devlog series I'll be sharing with all of you the progress this game makes from the start all the way to the end of development. I don't have any plans for once this game's finished, but I'll try to put this game on as many platforms as possible, including Windows, Macs, Linux, iOS and Android. This isn't the first big project I've worked on over the years. I've actually made many games at this scale, so I feel I should be able to manage everything. For the most part, I'm planning to develop this game by myself, but I have one of my friends that's working on the soundtrack of the game and one of my friends who's working on a bit of the artwork. And of course, with the help of all of you watching, this game should be finished in no time.
Okay, one thing I want to say is nice editing these parts. Like when you talk about your old games, that you put some footage of your old games, that's always nice. So people gotta have something to watch. Sorry, it's difficult for me to speak and at the same time read some comments.
After the first week of development, I started working on a very basic roadmap so I would never get behind schedule, and I've decided that I'll aim to release this game at the start of June this year. So that's about 4 months away from now, so should be plenty of time if I stay committed. Over these months I'll be trying to make these devlogs as frequent as possible, in which I'll be going over everything I've done, from adding something to the game to any struggles that have been putting a bit of a spanner in the works. So now you have a very brief idea of what the game's all about and how the series So now you have a very brief idea of what the game's all about and how the series is going to work. Let's get into.
Also, one thing people can learn from him is this interruption. That's always a nice thing. So he's talking a lot and that can get boring after some time. So he added this cough and the switch to the beep sound in the screen, just to kind of wake up the viewer again. That's something you can all add. If you're talking too much, then that's never a bad thing to do.
What I've got so far. So over these first few weeks of development, I've set up many systems that run in the background of this game, like the random map generation, the altitude and shadow systems, and then the control board down here on the bottom of the screen. Let me explain how the game's random world generation works. Firstly, the world is generated in chunks. Each chunk is about the same size as the screen. I've designed the random generation to choose one of the custom made chunks from a long list and spawn it in as soon as the previous chunk has just fully entered the screen, meaning there is a constant flow of generation. No, stop. Don't look at that. It's still a work in progress, okay? Another system I want to explain is the altitude and shadows. For this project, I had to somehow make the player feel like he was flying above everything in the game while still being in a 2D environment. So
hey, this is the first time we have a game footage that isn't lagging. Interesting. When he speeds it up, then it's fine, or or what's the reason?
I decided to add shadows to the game. I made a small component that I can add to any game object in the game, which takes the object's Y position and its altitude and creates a shadow object that follows the game object's X position while keeping the Y position the same, so that shadow is always following the game object. But over the past few weeks, the main thing I've been focusing on is adding new buildings and planes to the game. I've spent a lot of time drawing up new building templates and trying out different color schemes for them all, because I want there to be a very large variety of buildings set up in the game. Over the development of this game, I am planning on dedicating at least 1 to 3 hours every week to drawing new buildings, so that once the game's released, there's plenty for the player to drop bombs on or crash into. This will also mean there will be plenty of variety through the whole game, meaning the player is less likely to get bored of what they're seeing. I've also been working a lot on all the health systems for the game. When you start the game, you have a full health bar and shield bar. These are clearly shown in the corner of the screen. It's fine to get hit while you still have some shield left in the bar, but once you get hit without any shield left in the bar, your plane starts.
Okay, other nice stuff that he's doing is cutting to the part of the screen where he's talking about, like from now he's talking about this display, so he puts it full screen and people really know what he's talking about. That's a nice thing.
get damaged. As you can see here, every time you get hit without shield, your plane starts to malfunction. At random, one of your plane's main functionalities will start to not work at its peak. If you get hit enough times, all your plane's main functionalities will start to malfunction, and then you'll need to be very careful as you continue. Eventually though, if your plane continues to lose health, you will lose your engines and slowly fall back down to earth and crash. Over the next few weeks, I'm planning to just continue adding random things to the game. Since this is a very early stage of development, I just need to keep working and working to slowly give this game as much of an identity as possible. I'm going to be adding things like new enemy planes, cars, better roads.
This part is maybe a little bit too much talking without nice footage. You know, we have like, let me look, start at 5:30. Now it's already 30 seconds. It's like a little bit too much. I know there are people who like this, but I think the rest of the time you did so much editing and showing nice stuff, and now it's getting a little bit less of that. Maybe you either want to try to make your text shorter and not talk about that much, or try to add some more footage in this part.
Cities and much more. Also be working hard on creating new custom areas to the game. The more areas I add, the better, because it'll make the game feel fresh for longer than if there was just one area repeating itself over and over again. But also, since the game can kinda look a little complicated at times with all the altitude systems and fueling, etc., I'll be spending a lot of time with friends getting them to test it out and give me recommendations to make the game feel better for the players, because they're the people that are going to play it more than me. Because as a developer, it can be very hard to notice if some controls are clunky or if a game is way too hard, because since I spend so much time creating each
Okay, the same thing for you. I said earlier, if you are showing gameplay footage, make it full screen and get rid of those borders, because then people can see more. Why not?
mechanic, I kinda get used to most of the problems before actually noticing them. That's why I have some pretty cool news. Every single time I release a new devlog, I'll be uploading an updated alpha version of the game to the community Discord. I have it all set up over there and ready on the community Discord, so as soon as this video releases, you should be able to go straight over to the Discord and test it out. So jump on, give it a play. And if you have any cool ideas or suggestions to improve upon the game, there are plenty of channels on the Discord for your voice to be heard. So, if you haven't already, make sure to join the community Discord. It's tons of fun over there, especially with the new music section that I've set up. I mean, it's pretty bangers. Anyway, that brings us to the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. So make sure, if you're not already, to join the newly branded community Discord and follow us on Instagram. There will be links below and in the cards to help you find your way to your destination. So if you haven't already...
video, now he's only promoting. Yeah, once again, really nice video. It's amazing that... that all the videos I get are so good. I'm surprised. I expected to get worse videos sent to me, but until this moment, every video I saw was really nice, and all the stuff I said are just some really tiny improvements to already nice videos. That's awesome. So some final thoughts on your video would be, as Metabulous said, make the intro maybe a little bit shorter. It's a very long intro, and 45 seconds to be exact. So maybe try to get it shorter, and then this is fine. And I really like your editing. I like the usage of your avatar. That's always nice. Stuff like this. I mean, I do camera footage, but this is also a really nice way to go. And yeah, there are some parts you could make a little bit shorter. And one last thing, try to get non-lagging gameplay footage. That's what I wanted to say, because this make me think, is the game always lagging? And if not, why didn't you record any non-lagging stuff? Yeah, I guess that's this. Amos Tuzaf asked, how does this stream work? Yeah, I have my Discord server where people can send me their links to their YouTube videos and to their channels and to their games. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah, I will review them in these streams that I will now do weekly. So this is the first one. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly the streams will be, but I guess this is probably the way to go. And the reason why I'm doing this is that everyone can learn from all the great people that are creating content like this, and I can learn a lot by them. That's also really nice. So I'm also doing this for me. And last thing is a game. Today I want to end the stream with a game that was sent to me. I have no idea what this game is about, but I guess we will find out. I must admit, I even don't know who posted this game. He's called Puek on itch.io, so maybe this is also his YouTube name. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel actually. I should look this up, but the link to the game will be in the description, as well as the links to all the videos I showed. So make sure to check out all the nice people, and if you like their content, then subscribe to them. I guess this would be nice, so we can all help each other. But now let's play this game and see what we got. Let's make it full screen. Okay. So I guess I hate settings, so we're just gonna say new game and start this. Okay, I can't move or click, so I guess I have to adjust these sliders. And my goal is to fly into this little sun. Okay. So I can increase the gravity and the mass. Changing the mass currently does nothing. And changing the gravity. Okay. So it will fall down upwards, I guess. I'm still trying to figure out how this game works. So my best thought is now that when I change the gravity, it currently is at 0, and when I change it this way, the arrow will go up, and if I change it this way, it will go down. Okay, that's a really interesting gameplay. I haven't seen anything like this before. Okay, now I probably have to... Okay, what I think is that I now got to increase the math to get through these. Yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, interesting. Okay, first of all, the visuals. It's really simple, but it's really nice. I like the simple post-processing stuff. This always looks awesome. I enjoy the graphics definitely, and the gameplay is really unique. I haven't played anything like this before. So how are we gonna do this? Okay, wow, that's really feels like really random. Okay, I also can change the gravity with my keyboard. But now I can't change it. That's a little bit strange. So after I touch this, I can change it with the keyboard. Okay. Okay. Now I see. So okay, that's a really interesting mechanic. But because it's so unique, you first gotta get used to it. Okay, because if I just change the mass a little bit, I keep destroying the whole map. That's really difficult. Okay. Wow. Okay. So one thing is, I think the slider is a little bit too it's not fine-tuned enough, you see. If I change it a little bit, that's okay, but if I change it like this, it's getting really too wow, I finally did this level, but just by pure luck. Okay, so what I wanted to say, let me focus for a little bit. So if I turn the slider on completely, it's my feeling is that this is way too much, because then the triangle goes way too fast. Maybe it should be a little less, so you can do more fine-tuned stuff. And one other thing that you maybe want to add is like an outside border to this game, because now my triangle is away. I will definitely never see it again, but the game won't restart until I hit the restart button. So you could automatically restart the game as soon as your triangle leaves the border, I guess. Oh yeah, this was a nice level. I like this a lot. The last one was a little bit difficult, but this one is really nice. Okay, now I gotta get through this. Let's see. Gotta increase some more. See, I have no idea where my triangle is now, or if it ever will come back. It seems like it won't. Metabulous asked me, what are your thoughts on a new live stream workflow on YouTube? I'm really not familiar with the live stream workflow on YouTube. I mean, you weren't here at the beginning. I totally failed the start of this live stream, so this was really awful. I failed this. Okay, wow. Okay, this level looks very difficult. How am I going to do this? Okay, the last level was really nice. This one, okay, I mean, and now the triangle suddenly starts rotating, so it feels a little bit random. That's what I gotta say. I don't have the feeling that I have too much control over what is happening. That's a little bit... Okay, you know, now the triangle starts rotating and I have no idea why. If I now increase the math, but I still have no idea how to do this level actually. I mean, I somehow, the only idea that I have is that I have to touch the border very slightly, so it, see now, okay, but that's not how to do this. Okay, it's, wow, that's a really difficult level. I think I'm gonna actually end it at this point, because you're already streaming for for 1 hour and 30 seconds. So let me talk about my final thoughts on this game. So the game mechanic is awesome. I haven't seen anything like this, and that's really nice. Some levels were really nice, like the first levels were totally easy, but the one where you had to slide down and then jump up, this was a really nice level. But the level after this one, I couldn't figure out how to do this at all, so this was a little bit difficult, I guess. I just wanted to see, did anyone write a comment? No, okay. So I don't know how many more levels there are. These screenshots level, I played them all. This level, for example, this was for me complete random. I had like no control whatsoever. I have no idea how I managed to do this level. So it kind of feels like not fair to me. So like not that skilled. So it's not skill-based enough, you know? Try to make the levels a little bit more skill-based. I know it's difficult, but you gotta try to find people who test your game, and then you can see if it's too difficult or if it's manageable. And besides this, I think the gravity slider was a little bit too much. When you go to one end, the gravity turns on too hard. Maybe just change this a little bit. But the visuals are very nice. The idea is awesome. I think make some more nice levels, and this is a great game after all. Okay, I saw there were some more questions. And when programming asks, when will you review the Discord link? I guess what you want to know is when I will review stuff that's on Discord. And in the next video, I have 2 more videos that came from my community post that I will do in the next live stream. 1 game from the community post, and then I will start to work down the Discord games, because I do them in the order that they were posted. So I will do them all chronologically. I don't know if this is a word. Yeah, but that's how I'm planning to do this. So yeah, I think the amount of stuff I reviewed today is like a good number. Today I did 4 videos and 1 game. So I think 5 posts and 1 video would be nice. So next live stream will be 2 games / videos from Discord, and who is also in the stream right now. I don't know when we are going to do this, but there's a collaboration planned, and this is going to be a nice one, I guess. Besides this, I haven't planned any. There's I forgot. There's another collaboration, kind of collaboration that's more like a thing with a lot of different YouTubers, but I can't tell you anything about this because it's going to be secret until the 24th. But I can tell you it's organized by Artindi. Yeah, but he will make a video in a few days. Aphex said I will never get reviewed. I don't know where you posted your video, but probably next week. Would be nice to see me and Janik collaborating. Maybe we will see this metaculous. By the way, let's just wipe. Gotta figure out when we're gonna do this. But I think for now, let me just end this stream because that's it. I don't need to do this even longer. So no, it won't be a dev chat. Okay, so thank you all for hanging out with me. We had at the peak point, I guess, more than 20 viewers. That's nice. And don't forget to go to my Discord and post your stuff if you want to have your stuff reviewed. I will get to it eventually. And I hope I see you next week again.